Right, welcome to the Compliance Weekly sync for the 16th of May. The first order of business is to walk the milestone board. Is there anyone else that wants to share their screen and go through it? Otherwise I can.
I can do it. It'll take me a second.
Oh, thanks, Mark.
Uh, okay. Share screen. Display. Is that working?
Yeah, perfect.
Cool. Okay. So where were we in closed issues?
The last one was a spike for the unit test coverage.
UX backend. Okay, cool. Would save it's on here. I don't know if anyone could speak to
Yes,
this.
that one's just one of our checks that the
Oh
order
yeah,
coming up, and it wasn't.
cool. Jay, anything? Update
Oh yeah,
documentation.
that was just some docs updates, and I think adding a little tooltip for status checks, so that users had more info that was merged and verified.
I can talk about the create and edit compliance frameworks report that Ilya completed. This was one of our release posts for this milestone as well. Now, in the compliance framework report, you can create and edit the frameworks themselves rather than having to go all the way into the group's general settings, which makes it a lot easier to edit and create them and add them to projects. So it's a great bit of work.
Cool. Anything on these three?
I think, Jay, did you do the verify the export one?
Yeah, I was gonna just say I think I verified that one, and I also was a reviewer for some others. So yeah, the compliance framework report export. Dan's been working on that and verified that we now can export the frameworks on the page, and seems like it's working properly. Emails are sent pretty much promptly, and everything is working as is. It's good.
Cool.
And then for the other one, I'm just trying to find that mark for that. If I remember correctly, the schema was designed for audit events, and I just can't find the MR right now. Or maybe it was just the proposal. But yeah, good work on that. Yeah, that was it.
Cool. Not all audit events are being recorded. This was kind of a bug that was encountered by a customer but was not able to be reproduced, where I think it was if a protected branch was deleted, an audit event should be recorded, but there was a situation where it wasn't. The branch was deleted, but no audit event was recorded. But we do have an audit event, and in testing that, the happy path, everything seems to work. I did some digging into this, and there is I found a way to create a situation where this could happen, but I have no idea if that is what actually was the root cause of that issue that was encountered. But it was basically if a cache refresh failed, for example, Redis being down, that would cause a situation where the audit event would not be created, even if the protected branch was removed. So I basically added just some code to prevent that from happening, and hopefully that was the root cause, but no real way to know for sure other than see if it occurs again. So fixed edge in keyset pagination. This is just some refactoring of the helper used in some specs. Not really a big change there. I don't know if we have anyone to speak to these three.
I did the violations one. I verified that. So this was just some small UX follow-ups around the message when you're filtering the violations report, and also not it would have adding debouncing to the UI as well. And the set instance level external audit event destination, that was the what Hitesh has completed, and this is all of the APIs now for the instance level streaming audit events. I know he's still working on omitting all the audit events and then on the headers and event filters, but this is the first step towards that. We have all the APIs ready.
I don't know if anyone can speak to this, or if Nate want to speak to this.
Yeah, I can talk to those two as well. The inform user when compliance framework report filtered results have changed. Ilya had completed this. So in the compliance framework report, when you filter and then apply a framework to one or a subset of those projects, the results don't update. So it can show a project there with the wrong results as part of that filter. So it pops up with a little dialog just asking to refresh the search, and the disable compliance pipeline field in the compliance frameworks for premium users. So previously the compliance framework report allowed users or premium users to be able to edit the pipeline field, but they don't actually have, it's not at that level. So it would then come up with an error, which was confusing for users. So we've just disabled the field.
And Jay.
You're muted. On that one, we had initially wanted that so that owners could see the full external status check URL. After some reviews in the MR and some talk with AppSec, we decided to just strip all tokens from the URL, display the status check, so that's no longer displayed on the configurations page, just not on each MR status check. Yeah, I think Nate verified that. Yeah.
Did you want to speak to, I don't know if you
Yeah,
were the
I can talk on that one.
implementer or verifier in this one?
As the verifier, so that one is mostly good. It's just the streaming audits for when you create a merge request and then either merge it and destroy it, or if it's not merged yet and destroy it, just having those come through the streaming logs. It's mostly coming through. There's just one issue that I observed with it not showing the merged by ID, and otherwise it's pretty good. But yeah, just waiting on a reply on that one.
Okay. And we'll probably get an update for this one next compliance weekly. This one, Aaron, I'd see the verifier on it. You're not really going to be able to verify this. This is adding an index to production, and it's got to be done in like 3 separate merge requests. And this first one, it is already merged in, but it will run over the weekend. It got merged Friday, but it didn't get merged early enough to run this past weekend, so you can't really do anything until Monday. So just a heads up. And for the verification, there's just a chat ops command that I posted in a comment on the issue or on the merge request or issue. I think of the issue that you run. So, but nothing to do with that one right now.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. I'll put it on my to-do list for Monday then.
Okay, cool. In review, does anyone have something they want to call out in these first 3? Yeah, probably not. Did anything you want to say about this one, Aaron?
Yes, so that one is like 95% done. There is one MR that is still out that Harsimar and I have been going back and forth on because we were having some test failures in the predictive tests in CI. And I had the time to look at that last night. And I think what's causing that is because we made changes to the audit method for emails. And because a lot of these services do generate emails as part of what they do, what's happening is in the specs where the mocks are expecting audit event service or audit event or auditor audit to be called with the service in question. Now there's an extra auditor audit call for the emails that has to be accounted for in the specs. So I just need to go through the failing tests and find out where I need to make the changes to the tests. I'm going to try and get that done as soon as I can this week. It's not difficult. It's just going to be a lot of digging around and making sure I can just get the test passed. But that's the reason. That's the only thing holding up this issue at this point. Everything else, the other MRs that were related to the user refactor are all in verification or been closed at this point. So that's where we are in that.
Cool. And then Jay on this, set the status back to Petty on retry.
Yep. That one's on final maintainer. Just got some more feedback today, so just addressing that. Hopefully we'll get that merged soon. It's been pretty outstanding.
Cool. I just gotta assign this bug that came up in some browser UI testing. I read through the issue and it wasn't really clear if this happens or can happen in sort of real app code, or if it's just a situation that you could get in based on how you can mark out different dependencies of audit events in tests. But either way, the actual bug was in presenter code. Like rendering a URL to display in, the UI. So it seemed reasonable just to say if there is no URL because some dependency got deleted, returning an empty string for the UI seems reasonable. So that's all I did in this open a merge request, wait to see if anyone has other opinions on if something else has to be done. And then improve sub blocking. I guess we will get an update for that one. Right now, anything in dev anyone wanted to talk about?
The only question I had was for workers.
I guess
I
I
haven't.
can
This
just
is the first time
mention.
I've.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to see for workers. Does anyone know if you can set the time at which a worker runs, like the interval, other than the predefined urgencies and consistencies? I think that's what it was.
What do you mean?
Just ideally want this new worker that I have in dev to run pretty frequently and at a set time. So I was just gonna ask the question in here, see.
Yeah, you can do a cron style worker job.
Yeah, because it has like default consistencies and urgencies that kind of schedules it in the queue. I was just wondering if there was a way to specify a certain time, if anyone knew of before I did a deep search.
I would just say search the docs for setting a cron scheduled job. So with a cron job, you can
Okay.
do the times. I've seen people do it in merge requests. I just can't off the top of my head say how to do it, but it's supported by Sidekick. So
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and then I'll just say for this API, this is blocked by the, not blocked, but the in adding the indexes. All those merge requests have to land in production before this one can be merged, and I just realized it's actually in review. So this is for the application code, and it's in review, and it has one sign off, so it's kind of in maintainer review. I don't think the maintainer has gotten to it yet. So that's
I did there was one other in dev, that one there. Excuse me. The front end for the instance level audit event streaming. So there's one MR already been merged for this that adds the tab behind a feature flag, and there's a second MR that's up at the moment. That's in review with Jay initially. Thanks, Jay. And there's about 3 or 4 that'll come out of this, so it's just sitting in dev while we complete all those.
And does anyone have anything in validation or planning breakdown, or they want to talk about?
There was one more that Josefa is doing the adherence report, technical implementation planning breakdown. He has a solid plan in place, but there is a few assumptions there that we're just waiting on Derek to confirm around using something or things such as it'll be at a project level, and we're going to use compliance frameworks to apply the tags to them and certain things. So once we get that, we can complete that implementation plan and then start building out the issues for next milestone to get stuck into it.
I will just mention this. Default branch protection. There's like this is an epic, and there's several. These two are blocked by things that need to be done first. And the one that needs to be done first is actually in review. I just don't think it's going to make 16.0, so it's in 16.1. But it is in review and has one sign off, and the maintainer review for the backend is got some feedback, but it's all, you know, pretty reasonable, not like opposed to the strategy as a whole. And then it has to go through database review because it's adding a column. So that's why I think it will take till 16.1. And that's everything.
Cool. Thanks, Michael. While it is the last weekly for the milestone, we actually did the release posts last week because of the earlier cutoff for merge requests due to the 16.0 release. So jump through. Is there any OKR updates from anyone? No. And then just one last point from me. So Hasma has run a script through all of the audit events in the system and come up with a list of dynamic event names that are left to add YAML files for. There was about 20 odd string related static ones as well, but we've added the merge request for that. So what I've done is I've split up that list and tagged all the backend engineers in that list to share the workload. So can you please have a look at that and create some MRs to add YAML files in for all those. And then we can close out that and start into the, Anything else that anyone wants to talk about? No. Right, I'll stop the recording.